themselves sort of call. You know what call is? Yeah, it's not. When God calls, sometimes it's the strangest call. I mean, it's like he took Moses, who stuttered, and said, go talk to Pharaoh. And Moses goes, no, I'm not going to talk to Pharaoh. But he provides. So he sent someone with him who could speak for him. But Moses didn't want to go, but he did. And all through the Bible, there's a history of people who were called to do things that were very strange, unusual. We've been studying the book of Ruth. And Ruth was not an Israelite, but her husband was an Israelite, his mother, and anyway, they traveled to Moab, and he married this lady there, a Moabitess, because there was a famine in Israel. The father-in-law died, the husband died. The mother-in-law said, I gotta go back to Israel. You stay here, start your life over. And Ruth said no. She felt a duty to go with her mother-in-law. Well, that's a very nice story, except that it's a really big story when you go on, way back over here in the Old Testament, between Judges and Kings. You go back up here, to the New Testament, and it's the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah. So Ruth, all those hundreds of years ago, was called to do her duty about her to her mother-in-law. She really didn't have such a duty, but she knew that if Naomi went back to Israel without a husband or a son, she had no standing in the community. She could not work. She would just be like a beggar at the gates of the city. So Ruth Woodman, she had been called. When you go through here, and there's like, so all generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. Get down here to David. So we'll just read the first part. Okay. Abraham, the original, was the father of Isaac, and Isaac the father of Jacob, and Jacob the father of Judah and his brothers, and Judah the father of Perez and Zerah by Tamar, and Perez the father of Haran, and Hezron, and Hezron the father of Aram, and Aram the father of Amminadab, and Amminadab the father of Nashon, and Nashon the father of Salmon, and Salmon the father of Boaz by Rahab. Now when Ruth came back to Israel, as not an Israelite, she ended up marrying Boaz. Okay? And Rahab was actually a harlot in the way back time, and she had sheltered the Israelite spies in the land of, is it Canaan? I don't get my facts mixed up here, I'm sure. But anyway, so she's listed. Okay? You would not think she would be a called person, but yet she is listed. And Boaz, the father of Obed by Ruth, who is not even an Israelite, and Obed, the father of Jesse, and Jesse, the father of King David. Now, when they talk about Jesus, they say he is of the house of David, because you keep going down the line here and you get to Joseph, Jesus' father. All these people along the line were called. And so you have a harlot in Rahab, and you have a non-Israelite in the name of Ruth, and yet they are of the lineage of Jesus. So God calls who we don't think he's going to call. We think God should call important people, special, shiny people. But he doesn't. He calls us. He calls this young man to be liturgist today. And he called that young man to be the speaker today. God calls who God calls. And if we answer, there's no telling where that leads. We may not ever know where it leads. I mean, I doubt that Ruth knew that she was going to be the great of the Messiah. But yet she was. People are called. The least of these, it says in the Bible. God calls the least of these. And they do great things. So if you feel called, or if you see someone called, support their call. You asked, was I all right with this? I'm not. I am so much more than all right. I am so proud it makes my eyes ring. My eyes ring just a little bit up here. I'm so proud of the both of you, and I'm so proud of our congregation that we embrace whoever God calls.
Amen.
It's not ours to choose. We are so proud of you young people, and that lady sitting right there at the piano. And she's called at a very young age to make beautiful music. And we are blessed. Fred was sitting over there beside us, and he said, it's so wonderful to see young people so. Yes, it is. Because God called them and He answered. So even if you don't think you can, God thinks you can, or He wouldn't have called you. Let's pray. Dear Lord, let us listen. Let us have ears to hear that when you call us, we don't say no. We don't turn around and run. We say, with your help, I will.